What was the hardest part of adopting your child? The hardest part wasn't the paperwork, the home visits, or even the 2 years of waiting. It was the moment my 6-year-old son looked me in the eye and asked if I was going to send him back too. My wife Amy and I had been trying to have kids for 8 years. Fertility treatments, miscarriages, the whole devastating cycle. We finally decided to adopt through the state foster system. We wanted to help a kid who really needed a family. They matched us with Tyler in December 2019. He'd been in foster care since he was 3, bouncing between 6 different homes. His caseworker Linda warned us that he had some attachment issues and behavioral problems, but we felt ready. We thought love would be enough. The first few months were actually going pretty well. Tyler was quiet but sweet. He'd help Amy make dinner and would sit with me while I watched TV. He was polite, almost too polite. Always said please and thank you, never asked for anything, never complained about anything. Looking back, that should have been our first red flag. What 6-year-old never complains about bedtime or eating vegetables? The real Tyler started coming out around month 4. That's when the testing began. He'd break things and blame our dog Max. He'd steal small items from Amy's purse and hide them in his room. He'd lie about obvious stuff, like whether he'd brushed his teeth when the toothbrush was bone dry. Amy and I read every parenting book we could find about trauma and adoption. We learned about how kids from the system push boundaries to see if you'll abandon them. We were prepared for that, or so we thought. But what we weren't prepared for was the night terrors. Tyler would wake up screaming around 2 a.m., completely inconsolable. Not just crying, but this gut-wrenching wailing that sounded like he was being tortured. It happened 3 or 4 times a week for months. Amy and I were zombies. We were both working full-time jobs and getting maybe 4 hours of sleep a night. We started snapping at each other, taking our exhaustion out on the person closest to us. Our marriage was cracking under the pressure. The breaking point came in July. Tyler had been with us about 7 months, and we were at my parents' house for a barbecue. Tyler was playing with my nephew Kevin, who's 8, when Kevin accidentally knocked over Tyler's Lego tower. Tyler lost it. Not just a tantrum, but a full meltdown. He started hitting Kevin, screaming that Kevin had ruined everything on purpose. When I tried to separate them, Tyler bit me hard enough to draw blood. My dad pulled me aside later and said maybe we'd bitten off more than we could chew. Maybe Tyler needed professional help that we couldn't provide. Maybe it would be better for everyone if we reconsidered the adoption. I was so tired and frustrated that for about 10 seconds, I actually considered it. The thought of going back to our quiet, peaceful life was tempting. No more sleepless nights, no more walking on eggshells, no more feeling like failures as parents. That night, Tyler must have overheard Amy and me talking about getting him into therapy. We were discussing different programs and treatment options, trying to figure out how to help him process his trauma, but to Tyler, it probably sounded like we were planning to get rid of him. The next morning at breakfast, he was unusually quiet. He picked at his cereal, wouldn't make eye contact. Finally, he looked up at me with these huge brown eyes and said, "Are you going to send me back like the others did?" My heart completely shattered. This little boy, who'd already been rejected by his birth parents and 6 foster families, was asking if we were going to abandon him too. He was 6 years old and already expecting the worst from the adults who were supposed to protect him. I got down on his level and promised him that no matter what, we were his family now, forever. That we might need help figuring things out, but we weren't going anywhere. Amy was crying, Tyler was crying, I was crying. It was a mess. That's when I realized the hardest part of adoption isn't the logistics or even the behavioral challenges. It's earning the trust of a child who's learned that adults can't be trusted. It's proving day after day that you're different from everyone who hurt them before. It's understanding that every lie, every tantrum, every test is really just them asking, will you still love me if I'm not perfect? We got Tyler into play therapy twice a week. We learned better techniques for managing his triggers. Most importantly, we adjusted our expectations. We stopped trying to be the perfect family and focused on being the consistent family. 2 years later, Tyler still has bad days. He still struggles with trust and attachment. But last month, when he got scared during a thunderstorm, he came to our bedroom and crawled into bed between Amy and me. He fell asleep holding both our hands. And for the first time since we brought him home, I felt like we were really, truly his parents. Not his guardians or his caregivers, but his parents. The hardest part of adoption is realizing that love isn't enough on its own. But love plus patience, plus therapy, plus understanding trauma, plus never giving up, that combination can heal almost anything. Tyler calls us mom and dad now without hesitation. He laughs at my stupid jokes and helps Amy with her garden. He's still our son who came from trauma, but now he's also just our son who hates broccoli and loves superhero movies. And that makes every sleepless night worth it.